Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach. Today we're doing another ECOMI VeVe video. Currently the price, I kind of didn't actually forget to maybe get the price up on the screen, so we're going to do that now. Here we go. Okay, price is 6739 on a low of 6218 and a high of 6938 over the past 24 hours. Now, in this video, we're going to be going over some Disney stuff because VeVe have put out an announcement around the Mickey and Friends NFT collection, I believe, which we have spoken about a few days ago when it was actually initially announced that we were going to be seeing something along these lines, but they gave us a bit more information. Honestly, not that much more information, but a bit more information on what we can expect here. So it says here, we're celebrating some of our favorite Disney friends: Goofy, Pluto, Daisy Duck, Donald Duck, Minnie Mouse, and of course, Mickey Mouse. Mickey and Friends first edition interactive lenticular cards drop Saturday 29 January at 8 AM PT in a blind box format. Okay, so what does this mean? Because I know that some people definitely got confused at this part, interactive lenticular cards. What in the world? Because of course these look like posters, but they're not, or they kind of are, but they're not. Let's go through what this means. So for one, we're going to be seeing all the friends that I was speaking about, right? So we were looking before at the different Mickey and Friends people. And of course, we have Mickey Mouse here, we have Minnie Mouse here, we have Goofy, we have Pluto, we have Donald, and unfortunately, Daisy is missing in this image. But yeah, we'll be seeing them essentially. So that's cool. Now, as far as what does lenticular cards mean? Well, looking this up, lenticular cards have an uneven surface containing of tiny elevations made of lens and prisms. Those elevations are printed with different motifs concerning your perspective so that the view changes depending on the angle from which the card is viewed or held. So, what's that mean? Well, I do know what that means because I've enjoyed these before. Basically, what it means, and this is a good example if you like, is you know that there are certain sort of cards or certain graphics you have that if you sort of move it or rotate it in different directions, you can see a different, you can almost see like an animation basically. That's what we're seeing here. So I'm trying to find a good example, but basically, yeah, it changes as you move it around. It's like an optical illusion basically. So you'll move the card around and then there'll be an animation of some sort, or the frames will change. Now, of course, it's cool to see VeVe actually entering into this thing, because this is something that I think, you know, it requires AR for sure, as far as, you know, the lenticular part of it is concerned, the animation part of it is concerned, but it's going to be interesting because they don't actually need to, obviously these are digital collectibles, so they don't need to have actual lenticular cards, or at least as far as like having the physical ridges, if you like. Instead, I assume we'll be using the phone's, whatchamacallit, the thing that it uses to orient. I can't remember what it's called, some sort of, what are those things called, y'all? Hold up, that's going to annoy me. Phone hieroglyph or something like that? Phone hieroglyph? I don't know. Is that gonna? No, it's not gonna come up with anything. Okay, okay, whatever it's called, it's something within the phone. It's like a machine or a component within the phone that essentially means that if you say, for example, the best way of putting it is if you have a YouTube video playing on your phone. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now on your mobile, then obviously you have the chance to either watch it in portrait, where you'll see the comments, the title, likes, dislikes, etc. on the bottom, and then at the top you'll see the video. And then of course, if you're watching me horizontal, then you see me in full screen most likely. So it's the thing within the phone that makes your that knows the orientation. It knows sort of. The other way of putting it, I guess, is if you remember back in the day with the Apple iPhone, one of the most popular apps of all time was the Beer app. I'm sure that we can find Beer app iPhone, and you'll see here, I'm sure. Yeah, here we are. So some of you may remember this, where essentially, you know, you would pour the beer, and then as you sort of poured it, then the animation would do its thing. So I can't remember what it's called, honestly. It's annoying me, but I can't remember what it's called. But there's a component in your phone, and I assume that we'll see that component being used in here. If you know what it's called, it's literally on the tip of my tongue, but when you're recording a video, I can't think about it for 10 minutes. I just got to get the video out. So let me know what it's called. Either way, though, this goes a bit further. I want to talk about some patents, some Disney and some metaverse stuff. This right here is from Business Insider. Disney patents metaverse technology for theme parks that would track visitors while projecting personalized 3D images for them. Now, I'm not saying that this is specifically a collaboration with VeVe by any means, so please don't spread that around, but I think it's interesting. You know, we're seeing Disney, for one, Disney's been putting a lot into Fortnite lately. We're going to be seeing a Star Wars collaboration with Fortnite very soon as well. So Disney's going hard into the digital realm still, and now, of course, they've got into VeVe quite early on, realistically, for the NFT scene. The NFT scene is still so early. So many companies still receive a lot of backlash whenever they talk about them. You know, Discord, for example, the CEO wanted to bring NFTs, you know, integrate it or whatever, and they basically backed down after mass backlash from incredibly uneducated users. But that's the thing, you can't push stuff on people before they're ready. At the end of the day, that is business. You know, it might not be right as far as, you know, the arguments against, but it is either way what it is. But Disney got into it really early, right? They got into it last year. We saw golden moments like, I don't know, was it October or November of last year? I can't remember. Disney one step closer to creating its own theme park, METAVERSE. The entertainment company was recently approved for a virtual world simulator patent. The tech includes a tracking system and 3D image projector. Here's what it might do. So already we're looking at this, and this to me is AR, most likely. They're not going to be sticking a VR headset on you at Disneyland. There's kind of no point in that. You may as well, you know, they have the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure in Disneyland. They may as well just attach augmented reality to it. Disney park visitors could soon be riding through the metaverse as the entertainment giant explores headsets, augmented reality. Sorry, headsetless, I should say, augmented reality. Disney Enterprises was approved for a virtual world simulator patent during the last week of December. The technology would project 3D images and visual effects onto physical spaces. According to the USPTO, instead of being designed for mass entertainment, the device would track individual park visitors to personalize the projections. For example, while one family may see Mickey Mouse greeting them by a hot dog stand, another group could interact with Princess Belle and Cinderella. And of course, in blockchain land, it could also be a case of personalizing it, right? Which is kind of what they're saying here, already personalizing the projections. So if you buy a Mickey Mouse NFT, which in this case is going to be a blind box format, so you don't really get a choice, but it might be that, you know, you're greeted by Mickey Mouse in a ventricular card in front of you, and if you got the Daisy Duck one, then it would be Daisy Duck, etc. Moving forward, the technology aligns with the brand's goal to tell stories through a three-dimensional canvas, as highlighted by CEO Bob Chapek during Disney's Q4 earnings call. Our efforts to date are merely a prologue to a time when we'll be able to connect the physical and digital worlds even more closely, allowing for storytelling without boundaries in our own Disney metaverse. Disney officials told the LA Times that the company has no current plans to use the simulator, adding that Disney files hundreds of patents per year to explore developing technologies. A spokesperson did not immediately respond to any requests for comment. The patent highlights the simulator's ability to create shared virtual world experiences without a headset or mobile device, which can be costly and inconvenient to wear. It also says wearable AR devices will require burdensome sanitation procedures during the era of COVID. So, pardon me, looking at the USPTO patent, we can have a look at some of this. Let's start off with the virtual world simulator. In one implementation, a virtual world simulator includes a computing platform having a hardware processor and a memory storing a software code, a tracking system communicatively coupled to the computing platform, and a projection device communicatively coupled to the computing platform. The hardware processor is configured to execute the software code to obtain a map of a geometry of a real-world venue, including the virtual world simulator, to identify one or more virtual effects for display in the real-world venue, and to use a tracking system to track and moving perspective of one of the user in 3D in the real world venue, or a camera in the real world venue. Now, I'm not going to continue talking about this patent specifically because I'm probably losing a lot of you here already talking about this, and also it's not, you know, this is being put down in quite sort of formal and obviously somewhat level of legalese language. Now, let's put this into something that's a bit more visual, right? And I'm thinking straight away of After Effects. This happens in a lot of different things, but After Effects 3D camera tracker. A lot of 3D software looks like this, but so it's not. This isn't special per se, but maybe gives us a better idea. So I know this because I've used this since I was about 14, so fucking hell, 9 years now. So this is kind of a good example, right? We can see here it says 3D camera tracker effect tutorial. So basically what this is someone has put a real world footage into After Effects, and they've done what's called 3D camera tracking, or more to the point, what was it called? It's been so long since I've used this. I think it's analyzing something or other. Either way, you can see this is a building, right? You have roads down here, and you have these different multicolored points. Now what these points do, as you can see, there is this red target. What this does is essentially you can create what's called a null, and you can create a camera that will essentially create a 3D environment. So After Effects, you can place, say I wanted to place text on this building, for example, then as the camera moves forward towards the building, the text stays in the same place on the building. Personally, I've actually used this for my own editing portfolio, where I, maybe about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, where I was editing full time for different companies as clients on a client basis. I in my portfolio, I put I think it was like a building like this. I put like what do you call it? I made it basically look like it was collapsing in a way, just to show the visual effects that I could do, basically, where I had like fires, you know, on the actual building, and sort of a hole and smoke and all that sort of thing. And it was just, again, just to show off what the visual effects were possible, or what I could do basically for clients. So what this means is that this is going to be what Disney most likely uses, not this particular software, but the technology is that it will scan the venue, and then it will be able to place, let's say you have a Disney NFT, it will be able to place that NFT collectible onto the real world in front of you, and as you walk towards it, the camera will essentially make, you know, it scale up, etc. I'm hoping I'm explaining this well. If I'm not, maybe I'll make a more in-depth video about what we may see from AR in the future. Of course, to be very clear, this is not focusing on VeVe. This is just something that's in the same Web3 world that I thought we could talk about. That being said, that is today's video. I hope this video was interesting and helpful to you. If it was, a like is always much appreciated. And if you would like to be kept happening in this topic every single day, and some today, this is my channel. I cover everything on every single day. So if you want to be everything happening, hit that subscribe and keep notifications on. Have a great day, everyone. I'll see you in the next VeVe video.